Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. We've got a bit of a chill one today. It's literally 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. But I was scrolling on TikTok and obviously everyone's been talking about natural hair recently. It's been a great discourse to talk about. But I wanted to talk about my own experiences, my relationship I guess with my hair. God, we need that light. But yeah, I just wanted to give my honest opinions and reflections as someone that quite confidently wears their natural hair now and obviously posts about it and everything like this. I thought it would be good to give you guys a little backstory, catch you guys up. So I personally have never had my hair relaxed or anything like that. Actually, sorry, quick story time. Basically, my dear sweet amazing mother braided me and my sister's hair. We did have this time where we had this hairdresser, some auntie who would come to our house and braid our hair. But then apart from that, our mum would braid our hair. I remember one day she was we're going to a salon. I don't know what the reasoning was, don't know what it was, but I was quite excited. I was like, yeah, let's go to the salon. Yeah, let me get my hair braided. The woman takes one look at my hair and goes, it's too thick. It's too thick. And without even any permission, maybe I should double check this with my mum, but I'm pretty sure without any permission, she puts a texturizer in my hair. It wasn't a relaxer, it was a texturizer. I was young. I don't know how old I was, but I was young. She put a texturizer in my hair without any permission. I don't know who she thought she was, by the way. Mind you, not to rant on this woman, because clearly it was her job, but her job was to be a hairdresser. My mum, as in not a professional hairdresser at all, just my mum was able to come here and braid my hair. Now you, a black woman owning a hair salon catered towards black women, is looking at a child's hair and going, nah, I can't do that, to be fair. Texturize. Are we hearing ourselves? Are we well? The fact that one of my only experiences of going to a salon and getting my hair done was some woman putting a texturizer in my hair is diabolical. Apart from that experience, no, my mum never put any perms or anything in my hair. Thank you, mum. She grew up with the relaxers in her hair, but she did a big shop, so I think that's maybe why she didn't put it in me and my sister's hair. I grew up pretty natural. I started getting braids back to back. For a very, I don't know, all my primary school photos, I'm trying to think about when, I don't even know when I started getting braids. All my primary school photos, all my secondary school photos, I had braids. Cool. Now, COVID comes around. Around that time, obviously, we had a lot of time at home coming out. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so I, started to learn how to braid my own hair. And oh my days, guys, maybe one day if I'm feeling brave, I'll expose the photos. But, the braids were flat against my head. But bless her, she was trying. She was trying. And I'm not gonna lie now I think about it might have even been earlier than COVID, probably 2018 period. I was really into natural hair YouTube. This is crazy. Oh my days. I really think, let me see if I can remember her name. Jasmine Brown changed lives. Jasmine Brown, that was so serious to me. There was this lady, I don't know her name, but she had a child. And she was the first person I saw use some sort of Rev Air variation. I was watching a lot of different YouTubers with ranging hair textures. Yeah, this is all for guys. I'm literally tapping back into my childhood. This is before COVID. Yeah, 2018, 2017. I was quite young. I was maybe 11. Just on the internet, watching these videos and trying to work out what my hair porosity was. Bless, I'm laughing because I can imagine myself right now with that cup. Me just me plucking the hair out of my head and popping it in that cup and thinking low or high. To this day, I still don't know if it's low or high. What I will say is your girl was confused. Young me was watching. Sorry. I'm laughing now because it's funny, isn't it? But I was watching these videos of girls' hair ranging from about a 3B to a 4C, and I thought, yeah, this all looks like my hair. As you can see, I'm a kinky coily, girl. My hair's 4B, 4C. Why I was watching 3B and thinking that was going to be me, I don't know. I knew I was especially lost when I watched Zendaya's hair. And I got really into hair, and I was telling my mom no, stop, because she used to just be combing from the root. I was stop combing from the root. That's not what people are saying. They're saying comb from the ends. But I was learning tips I literally still use to this day from that time. But around this time was when I was really confused about hair care as well, because I remember my mom used to say my hair's really dry, and so I just put oil over my hair, and then she was she was because my mom used to wash my hair, but she used to do every single step. She'd unbraid it, she'd wash it, she'd blow dry it, and bit by bit I'd take over each step. So I started unbraiding my own hair. So I started washing my hair and combing it. And because she'd always say my hair was dry, I'd just putting oil in it. And then go down and sit down to get my hair braided. And she was just ew. She was what it's on here. Looking back, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just densed in coconut oil, which is pretty disgusting. But like I remember being like, because she told me my hair was dry. I said, I'm gonna solve the problem. COVID, I learned how to braid my own hair. So like I said, I was taken over step by step by this point anyways. But then by COVID, that's when I kind of like learned to braid my hair completely. When I went back to school from COVID, I still like had my mom braid my hair, but I think I had a better understanding of my hair and what it was. And honestly, like even I'm thinking back in the day, like I said, I did do like braids pretty back to back, so it wasn't like I was having much breathing time anyway for my hair. But whenever I'd have my hair out, like there was never really a time that I felt ashamed. Like I don't know, maybe it's just the house I grew up in, and like my mom was like pretty open with our natural hair. Like I never really felt that shame, and it's like really disheartening and saddening to hear like so many people on the internet, especially with this whole like topic coming back up again, like expressing so much like shame, even now for their hair. When I talk about natural hair with people, some people do discuss things like, oh, maybe your length or whatever is like making you like feel more confident, because I know there's like this big obsession with length within the natural hair community. But like guys, seriously, when my hair was really short, I'm not gonna expose myself right now, but maybe one day I will. I learned how to French braid my hair. I have like TikToks from 2018, and like I'm like wearing those two braids and I'm mogging the F out of it. Oh, I looked a bit crazy, but I was just, this is my face, and I wasn't playing. I didn't play. I would have my little bun with a headband here because I couldn't do my edges. Two buns with a headband here. There was a time I was confused as well where I thought I could do my edges with water. We didn't talk about that time. I never wore a fro. I can say that. Didn't really know how to be fair. I'm gonna fast forward the story a bit because it's been 10 minutes already. And this whole thing's not meant to be about my hair backstory. So I started like learning how to braid my hair. Sixth form was when I first braided my hair by myself. And wore it out. So what I did during lockdown is I learned how to braid my hair, but I wouldn't wear it out because like I wasn't very good at it still, and I definitely needed to practice a lot more. Sixth form was the first time I like braided and wore it out. Not like that. First, that was that first it was a bit questionable. Over that time, I kind of like experimented more with different colors and like braided my hair. But I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot of trial and what's the word I'm looking for? Trial and progression. That's not the wording, but you know what I mean. Like I was looking a mess, if I'm frank, half the time. I didn't give a toss, but I was looking a bit of a mess. And I do think like growing to know how to nurture, look after your natural hair, protect your styles, do these different things, it unfortunately does require sometimes a little rough and tough. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I think it's like easier for people to like not take care of their natural hair. Like for me, I'm happy I did it when I was younger, because I'll be honest, like now, like at uni for example, I wouldn't have wanted to be going around with these ratty braids. But this goes on to a second part of my personal journey, my natural hair. So I'm like a girl from suburbia. Also, I'm not so suburban. I'm nearish a big city, but like I didn't grow up necessarily in school with a lot of other black people in my year, in the sense that I could kind of do my own thing with my with my hair in general. Sorry, weren't like trends I had to kind of follow up to, which compared to now when I'm in uni and there's like definitely a bigger black demographic here, and like things like trends, like you know what I mean, you're more observant of it. I'd be less basically willing to be rocking up looking anyhow at my uni compared to I would have back at home, just because back at home I wasn't necessarily surrounded by people that by that many black people. Basically kept learning how to do my hair, and I think sixth form was the first time I ever wore my natural hair to school, and I'm not gonna lie, I just did it. I found that wearing it in like a puff, for example, I found like much more like comfortable compared to like my fro, especially because of the country I live in. It like there was a lot more humidity. So, and I like walk to school, for example. So like I'd walk and I'd sort of be whipping in the way, and like the humidity, whatever, and I would like shrink up a lot, which shrinkage is something you have to learn. Like I think in terms of like learning to accept your natural hair, maybe shrinkage is probably the hardest part. It's part that I'm still growing to like now, because I'm thinking to myself, would I wear my fro completely in a shrunken state? No, for numerous reasons, like partially because I get quite bad fairy knots, so it just wouldn't work for me personally, but also I know that I prefer like my hair in a stretch shape because I prefer the amount of styles and maybe to do with it, etc, etc. Anyway, so like if we shrink up like that, I wouldn't really want to wear it to school. You know, there'd be times like I'm not gonna like halfway through maybe the school day being natural, I'd start to feel a bit self-conscious, because compared to braids, which I think is a very reliable style, if I lay it flat, it's looking flat. Whereas like with my natural hair, like maybe I look in the mirror and like it's looking a bit more jagged than I expected. During sixth form, I think it was a really important time for me developmentally. Like I was like in a lot of ways, like I was just learning a lot by myself. Like I was learning to do makeup and I was looking a mess. Like half the time, I'm gonna be frank. But like, you know, by the end I learned to develop and be able to do my makeup quite well, and I also learned to develop and do my natural hair quite well. So in 2024 was when like I kind of like looked it down, if I'm honest, and I started really enjoying wearing my fro. And you know, since then I've been really enjoying it. I still like experiment a lot, like try out different routines, but I've got a routine that works for me, and I'm having a lot of fun with my hair. I want to talk about my personal experiences as a girl that wears her natural hair. Like, what do I think the world's kind of, how do I think it's kind of accepted me? So for me, like, I like one of my best friends, for example, also wears her natural hair. Like, in terms of that, like, I feel like accepted. Quite a lot of black people in my uni as well. So like, I don't like, I feel like everyone's quite happy for me to wear my natural hair, all the different things. For me, the most comments I've had about my natural hair is from like extended family. Sometimes positive, sometimes not. Sometimes it'll be, oh, you know, your hair's growing, whatever. These types of comments. But sometimes, like, it's like, when are you getting your hair done? Is this how you're wearing it? Like, it looks rough. It looks rough. These are my relatives. They're as black as me, is what I'm trying to say. And that's actually the most comments I've ever gotten. It's like, oh, like, when are you doing your hair? Your hair's looking a bit wild. Wild is one people love to use. These times I just have my throw out. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Or like, they'll see me and go, and this is me every time. Because one thing about me, like, I personally love my natural hair. I really like how I look with it. So when you see comments like this, I'm looking at you sideways thinking, what are you talking about? Though I do know and I can recognize the fact that if I was like early on in my natural hair journey, or like I didn't feel as confident, these type of comments would definitely rock me. Because I can just imagine, right, building up the confidence to wear your natural hair, you step out, and like, you know, people are going to notice, but having someone go, your hair's looking a bit wild, is a horrific response. Like, that's horrible. That's really horrible. Even, yeah, the weirdest responses I've had from people have been people of my own community. I remember I was in Tesco and I had my natural hair out, and the worker, a fully black man, goes, oh, your hair's wild. Your hair's so poofy. How do you get it like that? What shampoo do you use? King, if you don't go look in your mirror right now and take a look at your hair, we have the same texture. He was like, it's so. And like, it's like these sort of comments, treating it like a foreign object, like an object that should be, you know, be made into a spectacle, like a strange, you know, thing, when it's something that is so deeply tied to the black community. Why? Because it's literally our genetics and it's how a lot of our hair looks. Yeah, that was such a super weird interaction. I don't think I've personally had experiences with white people doing that, and I'm not saying that means like, oh, like, oh my days, like, you know, whatever. I just think it's something that should be noted within our community, and something that needs to maybe be unpicked. Is like, why is black hair seen as a spectacle even within the black community? Well, colonial impacts, like, it's so deeply entrenched within the black community to, you know, kind of have disdain for black features. But one thing about me, I'm going to wear that for with pride. You can look at me. You can look at me. It's not going to change it. People not knowing how to care for their froze, etc. I do think it was very embedded at a young age. I know people like take it the piss and like kind of take jokes about like, oh, like, my hair was permed at 5, and if it wasn't permed, then my hair would be this length or whatever. But I think people are valid for making these comments. Am I crazy? Like, personally, like, my mum, for example, she had her hair relax. She then had to do a big chop, you know, at an older age, and then grow it back. Whereas for me, like, by the time I got to an age where I wanted to wear it out, my hair was relatively healthy. Why? Because my mum made sure to nurture it and take care of it and not treat it like this thing to be, you know, hidden away, straightened and made into something that's naturally not. Learning from your hair, I'm at maybe level 10 currently. I was able to start at like level 0 because my hair was like healthy. I didn't have to take care of it, but it was healthy, so I can now watch all these YouTube videos and learn about it. If your hair is like permed and, you know, really damaged, bless your heart, not by your own choice, mind you, you're starting from maybe level -5. Is that fair to say? I don't know. Like, I just feel like learning how to do all natural hair is one thing, learning how to do damaged natural hair, then catching up is another thing, and being expected to maybe do a big chop, because people are very critical about people with damaged hair. For example, if you come on the internet with, oh, like, maybe you're throwing hair, maybe like damaged edges, I'll see people in the comments saying all sorts of nasty comments. I'm also gonna go on a little slight rant. The people that knew what they were doing and kind of were exploiting the insecurities of young black girls with 40 hair. I'm talking about the bandits who had type 3 hair and would call it 4C. I think they did a lot of damage to the community as well, because it's led a lot of people to think that their hair is not right or their hair is not like how it should be. I'm telling you though, during that natural hair movement of 2016 to 2018, I know it's earlier than that as well, but I wasn't really the age where I was watching it then. But there were like girls with type 4 hair, and that's how I learned to do my hair. But then these days, if you look up like type 4 routine, I'm seeing with people with clearly 3B hair. I'm true to this, not new to this, so don't play with me. Clearly 3B hair talking about some hashtag 4C. Hashtag see you, get out the door, because what are you doing? And I think that type of stuff it gives people like maybe hair dysphoria. Maybe that's a big term, but hair dysphoria. And it means that they think their hair's not right. This terminology, how we talk about black hair, is very important as well. Saying people have good hair, and then other people have rough hair. For example, when people try to think my hair is rough, this girl ain't rough. It's moisturized. Or like it's dry. If my hair's literally dry, fine, it's dry. But why are you calling it rough? Get out of here. Yeah, but it's like good hair and all these type of things. First of all, just re-perpetuating white supremacy and basically saying that proximity to whiteness is the beauty standard and proximity to whiteness is proximity to beauty. And if you're saying proximity to whiteness is proximity to beauty, what are you saying beauty is? You're saying beauty equals whiteness. Check seriously how deeply embedded white supremacy and things like this are in the way we talk about hair. We're black and we should be proud and happy to wear our hair as is. I will do a video, by the way, guys, of my natural hair routine. I hope it's like helpful as well, and like hopefully I can give you guys some tips as well on like how to maybe take the first steps in your natural hair routine. This is my personal experiences, but I think it's a really important conversation to have. I love my natural hair and I love natural hair in general. I think it's really beautiful. I genuinely think it's so beautiful, and the fact that we've been brainwashed as a community to think that's ugly is really devastating. But I'm happy that we're having conversations about like this, and I hope it can, even if it just changes one person's perspective, I think it's productive. You shouldn't look at your black hair, you know, your features, and feel disgust or feel any sort of shame, because it's who you are and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, that's all. Bye.